Hello, and welcome to this How to Create Dashboards in Nakisa Lisa Accounting Suite video. So the first thing I'll do is click on the main menu. I'll click on this little arrow below Dashboards, Create Dashboard, and you'll see that we can create multiple different types of dashboards. So the first one we have is Dashboards, which can have multiple data sets up to 3. We also have List, which is very similar to the landing page that you can see in the background. We can combine the two, which can contain one data set, and then we can also create a pivot table with one data set. Given that I want to see a couple data sets, I will select Dashboards and give this a title, and I will call it Amortization Custom Report. Then I'll click on Next, and I'll select Amortization Dataset up here, and I'll click on Create. Now you'll see that it's prompted me to a fully customizable dashboard. I'll click on Add New Chart to be able to create my new dashboard. I'll click here to be able to create a pivot table, and you'll see that we can have rows, columns, values, and filters as needed. So I'll start by adding some rows, and I will add Activation Group ID. I will also add Activation Group Status. And I'd like to see Contract ID as well. Now that I'm looking the way my chart's coming along, I'd actually like to see Contract ID in the first column. Well, that's no issue. We can just drag to reorder and it will update in real time. Next, I'll add some values, and I'd like to have 10. So I'll just click on the plus side a few times. So the first one I'd like to see is the minimum lease payment. And you'll note that the default goes to count, which will show you the number of minimum lease payments, but I'm more interested in seeing the sum. So I'll select the sum right here. I'll add another data set field being the principal liability opening balance. And I'll select sum once more. I'd also like to see the principal paid. I'd like to see the principal liability closing. And click right there, select on sum once more, indicate another field, which would be interest expense, and have the sum. I'll add the opening net book value. I'll also add the opening accumulated depreciation expense. And you'll see that as I'm adding these fields, they really are updating in real time. I'll also add depreciation here, as well as the closing accumulated depreciation and the closing net book value. Right here. And select the sum. And you'll be able to see that as I put all of these in, it will be updating those in real time and can also show you the activation group status. You also have the ability to filter by using filters down here and filtering for a specific data set. You can also add and if I'd like to see certain values, I can sort them as well. And the last step to do is to click on Create, and that will save my dashboard that I just created. And you'll see here that it kind of makes it a smaller view. This way you can see all of your dashboards in that customized report. But I can also just edit the layout. And I can make this as big as I'd like to be able to see a more full-fledged view of it. And that concludes our how-to. Thanks so much for joining.